Hey there, volunteers. Welcome to the 2014 Moon Tower Comedy and Oddity Festival Volunteer Orientation. I'm Robert Vega, the Festival Volunteer Coordinator. For those of you who are returning volunteers, welcome back. And for all of our new volunteers, welcome to the team. Today we'll be hearing from two very special people who help make this festival happen. First, you'll hear from Lisa Brass, Executive Director of Programming at the Paramount Theater and the Moon Tower Festival Director. Following Lisa's welcome message, you'll hear from Jennifer Laris, the festival manager, about the festival badges, lines, and venues. And finally, I'll chat with you again about the volunteer program, check-in, and other details. All right, let's get started with Lisa Brass.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Brass. I'm the Moon Tower Festival Director. Thank you so much for volunteering. Many of you are returning for your second and third years, and we think that's fantastic. That tells me we must be doing something right. Let me tell you about some of the key players that you'll be running into around the festival. Our talent producers, some of the best in the comedy business. They've managed some of the biggest names in comedy and booked for several clubs nationwide, as well as the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal. They also own Austin's Cap City Comedy Club. When you see them on the street, please thank Colleen McGarr, Margie Coyle, and Rich Miller for their incredible hard work. You know, the great thing about volunteering is that with cooperation and team effort, many hands make light work. The Paramount Theater is not a large organization. In fact, we're a small nonprofit with only 35 full-time employees. And when we gear up for the week of Moon Tower, we add 45 event staff, front of house managers, stage managers, drivers, and security. All of these people, with your help, allow us to fire up and present 100 of the nation's top comedians in 9 venues over 4 days. Now in its third year, Moon Tower has established itself as one of the top comedy festivals in the country and is considered a frontrunner in the industry among worldwide festivals like Just for Laughs and Melbourne Comedy Festival. Needless to say, we couldn't accomplish this without you. Producing a festival of this caliber is hard work, but we'll all have a great time doing it. So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Well, hey there, everyone. This is Jennifer Laris here, Festival Manager for the Moon Tower Comedy and Oddity Festival. Let me start by just saying thank you so much for coming out to help us make this the most outstanding festival Austin sees this year. We absolutely could not do it without you and appreciate how many of you have come out and all of the effort and time and commitment that you've put into this. You are the face of the festival. So I want to make sure that you have everything you need in order to do your job so you are able to bring it on. I want to spend a little bit of time going through the venue map, the show schedule, credentials and line management, and the do's and don'ts with talent. With regard to the venue map, this will be available for you when you check in for your first shift, so don't forget to take a copy with you. We have 10 amazing venues this year: the Paramount, Stateside, the Parish Underground, New York, Velveeta Comedy Club, Speakeasy, which is a new venue this year, New Movement, and of course, what comedy festival will be complete without the Capital City Comedy Club? All of our venues are within walking distance of each other, which makes it really easy for our guests to move between shows. The venue furthest out is, of course, Cap City, but we're not worried. Our guests know exactly how to find that venue. We do see badge holders enjoying being able to move between the venues and encourage that by reminding them how close the venues are so they don't miss out on the show they want to see. Speaking of shows, man, do we have a lineup this year. I'm so thrilled to see that we have over 100 outstanding performers joining us for the festival. I won't bore you by going through all the acts, that would take forever. But I do want to highlight some of the outstanding talent that's joining us this year, such as Hannibal Buress, Maria Bamford, Dennis Miller, Dimitri Martin, Mike Birbiglia, Kids in the Hall, Mark Marin, and of course Fred Armisen have all agreed to come out and headline our shows at the Paramount. Absolutely amazing. Oh, and let's not forget that Aziz Ansari is back. Aziz just couldn't get us out of his system after last year, so he'll be back helping us open the festival on Friday and Saturday night at Bass Concert Hall. Incredible. I encourage you to go to our website and familiarize yourself with the schedule. It's really great to spend a little bit of time highlighting the acts that you think people would be interested in. so that when you get questioned, you'll know exactly how to direct everybody. As the face of the festival, we need you to make sure that every performer is made to feel like they are the number one star of the night, and I have no doubt that you can do it. Because this festival is so community and artist driven, you'll see the artists wandering around, walking in the front door of the venue, and generally enjoying themselves. Please don't hesitate to say hello, ask how they're doing, how are they enjoying the festival, if they need anything. One thing I would ask, though, is that you refrain from requesting photos. If they offer, that's one thing. But honestly, guys, we're from Austin. We know how to play it cool, so let's not blow our cover. You ask, how will you know the artist? Well, they'll be wearing artist badges, of course. Man, that was sort of a lame transition to the whole badge conversation, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Every festival needs to have a variety of badges with varying degrees of VIP to help everybody feel special. We are no exception. I could go on for hours about all the different types of badges, what they get, where they go, but you'd probably disconnect from this video. This is about the 6th time I've recorded this message, so I'm exhausted and I just want to move on with it. Here are the key things you need to know. We have badges, we have tickets. They all get into most of the shows. The one exception that we have is at the Paramount for our headliners. The ticket holders get in first, and then if we have seats available, the badge holders get in. We'll have a passport that's given to you that helps you determine what the priorities are for your venue. We'll also have line signage that designates which badges and tickets get into and which line to let in first. If all else fails, call your artists, aces, and sponsors to the front, then the ticket holders and the rest of the badges. We'll be doing day of ticket sales from the Paramount box office as well as New York, New York. So if someone shows up at your venue without a badge but would like to see the show, please direct them to whichever box office is closest. We don't have designated VIP areas in the venues as we have in the past, so we just want you to let the VIPs and artists in first so they can choose their preferred seating and then let in everyone else. That's about all they wrote for me, so I appreciate your time and effort listening to me. I can't tell you how excited I am you're going to be with us this year, and I'll see you out there. I'm going to turn it over to Robert now.
Great, thanks Jennifer. All right, let's go over the Moontower volunteer roles. Your volunteer area leader will give you a training at the start of your shift, so this is more of an introduction. One thing that I highly recommend for all volunteers is that you have a good understanding of the schedule and a good sense of the location of your venues. Whether you're working a venue, badge pickup, or hospitality, a question you'll all get is, who's playing where and how do I get there? A good tip is to keep a copy of the schedule in your back pocket. Venue volunteers will be stationed at one of the 8 venues around the downtown area, working with a small team of seasoned professionals at each of the venues. Your primary point of contact is your volunteer leader. The volunteer leader works with the house and stage managers to make sure that our volunteer teams are helping where the help is needed most. When you're outside the venue as a line liaison, you'll be working with the lines to make sure that people are in the right line according to their credentials, and you'll help keep our guests happy. When you're working the door, you might be counting the number of people entering the venue and checking their credentials. And finally, all volunteers will help set up the venue before each set and help break down at the end of the night. Our observer volunteers may take one of 2 roles during the shift. If a venue volunteer no-shows, an observer will take that person's place. If we have no no-shows, everyone will be an observer. In this case, observers will check out 2 shows per shift. So now you're wondering, do I get to choose my show, and can I get into the Paramount? Unfortunately, that's a no for both. The way it works is that I'll get a call immediately before the show to let me know how many observers can be accommodated at each venue. After that, I'll direct you to your show. After the first show, you'll check back in with me and I'll let you know where you're going for the second show. At the end of the night, I'll send you an evaluation link that you'll use to provide us feedback on each of the shows you observed. Hospitality volunteers are all about making sure that our VIP guests and artists are well taken care of. There will be a Paramount team leader at Hospitality to train you on badge check, seating, and hosting. Hospitality takes place in the Stephen F. Austin Hotel's Esquire Lounge on the 2nd floor. If you're a badge pickup volunteer, you'll be stationed in the lobby of the Paramount Theater. helping the festival team distribute badges to our guests. You may be the first point of contact that a guest has with the festival, so a welcoming smile and a great personality are key to this role. Pong Rock Smackdown volunteers will help with this first ever cookout and ping pong tournament pitting badge holders against comics. This shift takes place at the Stateside Theater on Saturday, April 26th from 1 to 6 p.m. Volunteer check-in will take place in the Stateside Theater basement next door to the Paramount. Check-in will be open between Wednesday, April 23rd and Saturday, April 26th from 5:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Please check in 15 to 30 minutes prior to your shift. If you are volunteering in one of these shifts, please note that you will check in directly at your volunteer area. Cap City volunteers check in at Cap City. Hospitality volunteers in the 3:30 to 8 p.m. shift should check in directly at the Stephen F. Austin's Esquire Lounge. Pong Rock Smackdown and Monday Breakdown volunteers will check in at the Stateside Theater lobby. So we have no doubt that all of you are going to be great volunteers, but because we'll be mixing with artists and guests, I'd like to review a few do's and don'ts. Most importantly, do have fun, tons of it. This is a fun and odd festival, so make the most of it. There are a few things that you'll want to avoid during the festival. As you see here, the key don'ts are: don't get upset when a guest gets assertive. Remember to smile and to let your house manager or volunteer leader help that guest. Don't drink during your shift. Our venues are bars, but save your drink for after the festival. Don't be late. If you're late, you might lose your spot to an observer. And as Jennifer mentioned earlier, don't stalk the artist, just like you wouldn't feed the bears. Should you find yourself in a very unusual conflict or medical situation, please don't try to play the hero. If it is not an emergency, please notify a security officer, house manager, or volunteer leader. If it is an emergency, you should call 911, then tell one of the venue leaders. Each of you will have one yellow volunteer t-shirt during the festival. Please make sure to bring your t-shirt with you each day. You won't be able to volunteer without it. And keep in mind that you will not have access to storage space for any baggage. As a huge thank you for volunteering at the Moontower Festival, we welcome all of you to catch a show or two or three on the evenings you're not working. All you need to do is pop by Volunteer Check-In to get your day-specific wristband. Last year, volunteers successfully got into lots of shows on their days off, including some of the midnight shows at the Paramount. However, the Paramount headliner shows before 10 p.m. are typically not available. By April 22nd, all volunteers will receive an informational email with your shift-specific details. This email will have everything you need to know about getting to the festival, checking in, and getting to know who you'll be working with during your shift. Alright, that brings us to the end of the orientation. Please don't forget to complete this web form verifying you checked out our video and you got it. Thanks everyone for giving your volunteer time and energy to the Moontower Festival. We could not host this event without all of your tremendous support. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks.